High-grade silver. Looking for more high-grade where high-grade has historically been mined? That's our favorite subject. Hi, George Sanders here, President, Goldcliff Resource Corporation, and welcome to another in our series of peer company interviews. Today we're going to be talking and learning about Silver North Resources Limited, symbol SNAG on the TSX Venture Exchange, website address silvernorthres.com. So the purpose of these peer company interviews is to highlight the talent and dedication of the professionals working in the junior resource space. As such, they are not investment recommendations. I'm not a registered investment advisor. Goldcliff is not compensated in any way for these videos. Goldcliff has no business relationship with Silver North, and for complete and full disclosure, I am a small shareholder of the company. I own a little bit of stock because I like silver. I like the business plan and the targets of this company, and most importantly, I like the people running it, and that is a good segue to introduce Mark Brown.
Hey George, good to see you.
Yeah, Mark, thanks for giving us your time here. You are the executive chairman of Silver North and also president of Pacific Opportunity Capital.
That's right.
And you have been in the space for a number of years.
Quite a few years, too many maybe.
Lots of different adventures, and not just in exploration stage companies. So why don't you just start by giving us a little bit of your background and some of the things you've been involved with, and tell us a little bit about the role that Pacific Opportunity plays.
Okay, happy to do that, and thank you for having me. Pacific Opportunity was set up a long time ago by my father, and he and I are both chartered accountants. And we got together and decided that there were so many of these small companies that really needed some help. They needed help on financing, and particularly the geologists who study geology, they don't know the business side of the company. And after I left Pricewaterhouse, I went and worked with two operating mining companies, Eldorado Gold and Miramar Mining. So they were 100,000 ounce a year gold producers, and I learned a lot about the mining industry then. And then I joined my father in Pacific Opportunity to help these companies to advance, help them get financing, you know, obviously for only select projects and good companies that we could add to. So we have kind of 3 partners in Pacific Opportunity and 5 staff that help these juniors keep them on the right path and hopefully get them some funding for their projects as well.
Terrific. And I understand you had one of those well-known 10-year overnight successes.
Yes. I think it was 12. But yeah, we've had a few big successes. We've had some terrible disasters that we fixed up as well. But one of the companies we started in 1999 was a rare earth element company. And that company was drilling for quite a few years, and at the time it started getting to the stage where they could do a resource estimate. The rare earth element prices also started to take off. And those two things coming together, the deposit looking like it's a very large economic deposit, along with the metal prices going up, are what really can make some people extremely wealthy in these markets. And we've had that experience a couple of times.
Absolutely.
That company became a $500 million company, and I got to ring the bell of the New York Stock Exchange. And we exited in that after we raised them about $60 million and set up a full-time management team for them.
And we're thinking that that kind of convergence, particularly for silver exploration, as we're finding maybe some encouragement in our exploration, coalescing with the rising prices, maybe we might have a similar environment.
I really think so. I really think so. I mean, we've got a lot of companies like Goldcliff and Silver North that have been doing a lot of work in the background. Yeah. And some of it's not very exciting, but you've got to get it done to make sure you've got the best drill targets. And we've also been doing some drilling, and of course now the silver price is $37 today, and that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that would be close to 50 Canadian,
Yeah.
given that you're operating in Canada. So that's a perfect segue to talk about high-grade silver in the Yukon. 2 active projects, and you're pretty good at telling your own story. You don't need any questions from me, so why don't you just quickly lay out what Silver North is all about?
Love to do that. And I mean, you use the key words, high grade. And as you well know, high grade is the key to real success in this industry.
100%.
And any projects. Being near mine helps. Having people who've done it before helps too. And we've got all those things in Silver North. We've got 2 projects, both in the Yukon. One's next to Coeur's Silvertip mine, and the other one's right next door to Hecla's Keno Hill mine. So we're very well positioned. Our Tim project is joint ventured with Coeur, and we don't have a relationship with Hecla at this point, but we do a lot of back and forth with their geologists on the ground there. And our geology is very similar. So the Keno Hill area is an area that's produced 200 million ounces of silver. High grade, some of their drill holes hit over 10,000 grams per ton silver. It's really quite incredible. Our drilling in the last few years, we've hit multiple intercepts of over 3,000 grams per ton silver, over 1 meter, some longer intercepts up to 8 meters of 500 to 1,000 grams per silver. And we need to do a lot more drilling to get to that resource stage. And it's very exciting. We actually have 12 kilometers of strike length of these potential veins in our area. But last fall, one of the really exciting things we did is we hit multiple veins in one drill hole. And so we backed up the drill and drilled a couple more holes and hit it again and again. And when you can hit more than one vein in one drill hole, it just lets you get to calculating a resource estimate that much faster.
Absolutely, and probably opens up the exploration potential of the rest of the land holdings in the district.
Absolutely. These veins kind of pinch and swell. So you go in and you might have a thin one and then get into the thick section. And so when you hit multiple ones, you're not going to hit all the thick sections at the same one, but it does open it up. You want to do a lot more drilling, and that's what we're planning to do this summer.
And one of the things that strikes me about Tim is your partner is also the operator of the nearby mine and mill. And in my mind, that sort of lowers the discovery threshold of anything you have to do there, because the mill's already in place. You won't have to raise the capital for that and amortize it, and so it's a different set of economic parameters.
That one is easy for me because I don't have to raise the capital. We're carried right through to a feasibility study. So Coeur would fund all of that, and their feasibility study, if they got to that stage, would be an easy one, like you say, because they have the mine nearby. What they did last year is drilled 6 holes, and they proved that it's a CRD, a carbonate replacement type deposit, which is the exact same as what they have at Silvertip. And that's what people like Peter McGaw, Quentin Hennig love these kind of projects.
Absolutely.
They need to drill this summer and hit some grade. We want to see some high-grade holes in there, and we're hopeful that that's what they'll hit this summer.
Fantastic. So your finance for the work on Haldane?
We're going to be raising a little bit more money. We have about $1 million in the bank, but we want to keep that and raise a little bit more money for additional exploration there. And we can do that through using charity flow-through funds,
Absolutely.
which allows us to issue the shares at a lot higher price. So,
Absolutely.
well, it'd be crazy not to take advantage
Well,
of that.
absolutely. And one of the challenges in our space right now is low market caps and dilution. So if you can be raising your exploration dollars at a higher level, that certainly minimizes that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a great way to go, and it's good for our shareholders, limits dilution, so we're happy to do that.
And that's a great segue into just a couple of the financial details. So give us the issued capital of the company currently, and maybe tell us a little bit about the insider ownership.
Sure. We've got about 61 million shares outstanding. There's about 15 million warrants and options outstanding. And the insiders own quite a bit. So insiders and a few key wealthy individuals, one fund out of Europe, own about 35% of the company. I'd say 35 to 40 depending on where they are. But they're very supportive. They participate in a lot of our offerings. And we've got a good group of another whole tier of smaller shareholders that are the silver bugs that love silver companies. And they come to us in every financing.
And I think the key to that strong insider ownership position that sometimes the retail investor might not fully appreciate, it narrows or limits the float, which makes the stock much more liquidity sensitive and responsive to good information.
Yeah, it increases the volatility. Exactly. And we definitely have some volatility in the silver market.
No question, but we like the space as well, obviously, and I think there's good times ahead for us. Mark, you've covered it briefly, concisely, professionally. Again, the purpose of these videos is to highlight some of the other really good people in the business, very professional, very dedicated, realizing that the overnight successes sometimes do take a decade, but have stuck with their programs and their processes over that time. So we appreciate your time. Is there anything that you would like to just add to this, or?
I mean, the only last thing is we're going to be drilling probably both projects here in July, and we'll be excited to get the results in September, October, and November, who knows when. But it's going to be an exciting year, and if the silver price keeps going up, it really could be great for investors.
Fantastic. Mark, thank you for your time.
Thanks very much, George. Appreciate it.
Thank you.